Continuing in verse 15 of Revelation chapter 17, John writes, "And the angel says to me, the waters which you perceived, or the waters that you saw," back in verses 1 and 2, where the female fornicator, the woman or the city, sits down, are in comparison to, represent peoples. And peoples in Greek, that Greek word for peoples, usually refers to descendants of Israel. So the waters which you perceived where the female fornicator sits down are peoples and crowds, throngs of many people, and nations. That's the other word for a lot of people, normally refers to those of the Gentile background or those other than Israel. Many ethnic groups and tongues, it doesn't matter what languages people speak. And the 10 horns which you perceived, and the wild animal, all of which will rule until the last 3.5 years, these will hate the female fornicator. So we're finding out their true feelings. They're going to hate the female fornicator. They will have active ill will towards the female fornicator at that time, which will include the devil's hold over many people of Israel with their corresponding behavior and living in the physical city of Jerusalem, which is the present female fornicator. Also look at Isaiah chapter 47, Revelation chapter 2 verses 9 and 20. And they will make her to be in the state of being deserted or desolate, a wilderness, and naked, bare, without wearing clothes. And they will eat her flesh, and they will burn her down in fire or destroy her until she's totally gone by fire. In truth, God gave into their hearts, and that refers to the center, core of their being, to do what? To do His knowing, to perform God's personal knowledge, to do His opinion, for the purpose of accomplishing God's purposes. And of course that would, at this time, it will be so that God's true people will get out of Jerusalem, get away from there. Emphatically, to do one knowing, to perform one or the same personal knowledge, and to give their kingdom to the wild animal. They'll be doing what the wild animal wants them to do. In fact, it will be to help to get the true believers regarding God and the Lord Jesus Christ at this time out and away from Jerusalem. But they will give their kingdom to the wild animal and perform his intention for the whole duration of time, up until the point when the words of or from God, the spoken account of God's inner thoughts regarding the end times, will be completed. They will be brought to their ending issue. It will be completed. And the woman which you perceived, talking to John, the woman which you saw, that mother of the female fornicators, is in comparison to or represents the city, that city that provides protection to others dwelled in it, the city, that large or great city, the city having a kingdom, as though holding ability and authority of a kingdom on the kings of the earth. That kingdom had authority over those higher up in authority or position, power on the earth at this time, as though ruling over other human beings on the earth. You know, you may ask the question, what city has or is a kingdom over kings of the earth? Well, the physical city as the mother refers to Babylon itself. which is physically located by the river Euphrates. It's to the south of Baghdad. We saw that previously in Revelation chapter 14 and verse 8. The physical city as a corresponding female fornicator or daughter is Jerusalem, which takes its name from Babylon, and as though putting it on its forehead. However, the wild animal will issue its commands to its kings and will reject any alliance that the kings of the earth have with Israel, the true descendants of Israel, those who continue to believe regarding God and the Lord Jesus Christ. So it will break any alliance with those people and with the physical city of Jerusalem at that time. And I have some references here in my books that you can also look up to see further evidence regarding the truths that I'm telling you. The woman or city having or holding a kingdom on the kings of the earth in verse 18 should also be viewed in light of the spirit realm, not just the physical realm, the cities on earth. The kingdom that we're talking about here in verse 18 belongs to the devil, Satan, the serpent, the snake, the dragon. Genesis chapter 3 records the beginning of the devil's actions against the only true God and consequently against mankind. Genesis chapters 6, 10, and 11 records more of his activities. However, since the devil was cast down to earth, his ability and authority is limited to the earth at this time and to those who live on it. The devil exercises his power using various people and locations on earth, but the origination of evil is the devil himself. The devil's kingdom is referred to in many scriptures. I've got them listed here, some of which are Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 12 to 18, Matthew chapter 4, verses 8 to 10, Matthew chapter 12, verses 24 to 33, and many others listed here in my book.